Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Jennifer and I'm here with Brian for our interview today in our video series. And I think we can all agree that virtual events are here to stay. So today we're going to discuss the overall production value and how you can enhance the way that your virtual event looks and feels. So last week I got to attend a virtual event that Clarity put on, and I got to see firsthand how much actually goes into the production. So Brian, can you tell us a little bit about how to make a virtual event feel different from just a regular Zoom meeting or a Zoom call?
Yeah, definitely. So when you look at virtual events, there are a lot of components of them. One of the components is really getting the content in from the remote presenters, and so you have that video window that you see. Too many of the conferences these days are really just showing you that video window only. What we're able to do with our production team is we're able to wrap that with different logos, different colors. We're able to put text in underneath the presenter's video window. We're really able to make it look more like a TV production, more like somebody is consuming something that's meaningful, that really looks like it's a higher quality. It fits your brand as a company a little better than maybe just having a Zoom window or a WebEx window or one of the different types of streaming services where you're just seeing a slide content and a talking head, right? So, but we had a variety of people here, and they were able to do a lot of that work in the background, really making that production value much better, making the quality feel more impactful. The folks at home are just watching on one screen, where when you're in a live event, there's lots of big screens and content in different places. So it's really hard to make it as exciting when someone's at home on their one screen. So we try to make that look really as elevated as we can.
Yeah, you guys did a great job. I definitely felt a lot more engaged with having the set behind you guys and stuff like that. So how does the run of show change for a large general session that you would be at a live event versus a virtual event?
Yeah, when you think about really how the run of show works, the run of show really works very different in a virtual event than it would in a live event. So on a live event, you have a captive audience where everybody is in that hotel, they're there for the day. So your general session, your keynote speaker, it can run quite a while, and it can be something that they're engaged in a live environment. But in a virtual event or in a streaming environment, you want to shorten up those content segments, and you want to really have an opportunity really to have that presenter share their ideas, share their presentation, and have it be short and impactful, and then have the audience able to do something else, or maybe even segment your event over multiple days, where instead of having your session for a single day, you have a general session in the morning on a Tuesday, and then the breakouts happen on a Wednesday, the wrap-up might happen on a Thursday. But really changing that run of show really makes a much better experience for your attendees, and allows them to consume and digest your knowledge in a much better way, and your material in a much better way, especially when they're at home with all those distractions. So we see the run of show and how you build your agenda being very different in the virtual events than in the live events.
Yeah, so we've heard a lot of talk about hybrid events. What experience do you guys have with hybrid events, and is it a solution for events that may happen later this year?
Hybrid events have been going on for a long time. So in the past, you would have an event where you have a live session where you have lots of people there in person, and then you would be streaming it out to other audiences around the world. And typically your streaming audience was often smaller than your live audience, right? Or it was different than your live audience. Right now, with what we're going through in this crisis, is it's inverted. So as we have some meetings that are taking place, most of the audience, right, is remote, if not all of them. As we look towards the fall, you're going to have a lot of hybrid events, really, where more of the audience members may be virtual and a smaller number may be in person, and they may be in person in different cities. And so hybrid events are definitely a great solution, because it gives the presenters and the panelists a live group of people to speak to, even if it's a small group. But it still creates that live environment, and you can create that production value where you have the stage, you have the backdrop, you have the same elements you would have in your live event, but your audience really is virtual. So hybrid events are we believe to be a big part of the fall. Most of our clients are talking with us about really how to create that fall hybrid event in case they're not able to have their event live. So a lot of that's happening, and it's definitely a way to really work through these times when things are a little bit difficult.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. So what would you guys recommend to meeting planners right now that are trying to plan for fall events and not knowing if they're going to be live events or virtual events?
So a lot of our meeting planners are stalled out right now.
Yeah.
So, and I understand,
Definitely.
they're trying to figure out what are they going to do. The hotels are unsure if they're going to be able to host the events. They don't know if they can travel there with the airlines. And so the planners are really stuck right now with how do they move forward. Like right now, they'd be planning food and beverage, they'd be getting their speakers lined up, their exhibitors, their sponsors. They would know what to do. Right now, they're unsure of what to do, right? So Well, our recommendation is that when you look at your fall events, look at planning for both scenarios. You're still going to need presenters, but either way, you're going to need to build and prepare to have your presenters queued up, know what content they're going to be sharing. And our suggestion is to go ahead and plan for that as if it's going to be a virtual event, pre-record some of the sessions, or at least be ready to film them when the time is right. And then if we do end up opening up and having more people be able to travel, you can pivot quickly to a live event. So our suggestion is keep moving forward, and you'll find your way through it.
Yeah, it sounds like with all the planning that we know planners do, and they do a great job, it's time to start planning even more.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well,
yeah.
Thank you everyone for watching, and please feel free to leave questions and comments below. Thanks for being here today with us, Brian.
Absolutely. So Jennifer, you've been asking me questions for weeks now, so
yes.
it's my turn to ask you a question. So
right.
I wanted to know, you've attended a lot of live events over the
Yes.
last couple of years. What do you miss the most about attending live events, and what are you looking forward to see coming back?
Okay. I think the part I probably miss the most is the networking social happy hours that you get to go to at the end of the day.
Kind of hard to recreate virtually, but
It is. Do you guys have experience in that?
well, I think there are some ideas that
Okay.
have been coming around, and I've seen some people doing some fun stuff with happy hours and with social events, and so the exhibit area is very difficult, the sponsorship area is difficult, and the reception networking areas are all difficult to replicate on virtual events. So.
All right, well maybe next week we'll be back to talk to you guys about how you can create that exhibit hall and that social happy hour post-event.
Awesome. Well, have a great day. Thanks for joining us on our video series.
Thank you all.